You are listening to Clinton's Core Classics, starring GM Clinton Chard as... What? That's their number one show. Oh, okay. You are listening to Dice Before Dishonor, starring me, GM Jeff Ball, as... Well, that's our number two show. I don't have Matt to say, attack of opportunity. Oh. Really? Star Wars is like number 4? Even after that crappy audio we put out for like 5 episodes of our 2nd edition playtest with Arklord's Envy, that Pathfinder Society adventure? It's fallen behind that much? Oh man. We better get season 2 rolling then. You are listening to Saga Edition Star Wars, The Dawn of Defiance campaign, starring myself, GM Jeff Ball, as narrator, host, and game master, with the voice talents of Matt Witt, Ryan Messina, Aidan Willems, and Frank Hamilton. And, oh yeah, I think Jay Tamlin's in there somewhere too. Hello, and welcome to another episode in Season 2 of the Star Wars Saga Edition podcast. We shot first. When last we left our players, they had commissioned Captain O'Keefe once again to take them aboard the Banshee into hyperspace to the planet Aquarius. Pictured behind me, a lovely green ball in the middle of space, an aquatic planet. Nothing but oceans.
Moon is in the 7th house, and Jupiter aligned with Mars. Then love will guide the planets. And something else. I don't know.
That's the national anthem. That's what you guys are. So picture the Banshee landing on this like dock platform in a vast, vast ocean as you guys break atmosphere. And there are a couple ships, slowly taking off and trade being done. And there's these submersibles tied up on one side of the wharf. And as you guys leave the Banshee and, O'Keefe comes over the comm, bidding you a farewell and, telling you guys have got, like a day or two. And then she's going to radio down or that type of thing, or she'll leave. So she's not, hold up here, got something to do, she'll be back soon. Okay? That you guys can meet her here, but you can call up to the surface before you, leave.
So wait, you can't fly a spaceship underwater?
Maybe. She's not willing to. This is as far as I go.
Fair enough.
So
I could see some issues with
aquatic races.
And stuff like that,
So, pop quiz, how many aquatic Star Wars races do you know? Because obviously, even if they're indigenous to this planet or not, they're going to like showing up here and talk to their fellow water guys.
I only know one by name.
What's that?
The Mon Calamari.
There's also the Quarren, which are the squid guys.
Yeah, that's the other one.
That is your next character, dude. The most interesting fish guy, on the planet. I don't always leave my planet, but when I do.
I guess technically the Gungans would be an aquatic species, wouldn't they?
Amphibious.
Don't talk about that. That's a bad word, and that's their word.
They're one of the amphibious
that's their
races.
Word. You can't use it.
So, picture the scene. Rahal and his motley crew walking down the loading dock ramp. Echoes of a little bit more subdued Captain O'Keefe in their head, wondering what's up with that. And surveying a busy platform. The elevator music that plays across it from sort of like a bus station. There's that one hub of an actual building and then just platform all over the place with ships docked in. Some are floating. Some have landed on an actual surface. You guys see things that are docked floating on the surface on the far side and they're just disappearing underwater. Some are coming up and people are getting out. These submersibles, ships and shuttles. A lot of shuttles are all around the planet coming in and out. And O'Keefe tells you that there is a city underwater on the seafloor directly below, city in Aquarius, which is the coordinates to answer the ad you guys were looking into, possibly buy your own ship. And that was what got her on board. She was like, oh, what? You guys gonna be your own ship, not bug me. Okay, I'll take you to Aquarius, you know. Is Dr. Leth coming? So, what do you guys do? A hub of international commerce at a bus station type setting, and over the speaker, the Muzak.
When the moon is in the 7th house.
But it's actually sung by locals, so it's more like a Zoidberg, like blah, 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 blah. I guess that would be like us singing an anthem like the Earth song. Like, that'd be really dumb. I guess they really wouldn't sing. Like, this is Aquarius, and they're singing the Aquarius song, and it's funny. But realistically, I guess an alien planet, you know, like what would we sing? The Terran song, you know? When Earth is awesome. Let's make Earth great again. No, let's go another term. No?
We would sing the...
We're going to build a space wall.
We're going to build a space wall across the hyperlink. Okay, no politics. Too much intergalactic politics to get into that. So, what do you guys want to do? Roll call.
I would like to find the closest access point to the HoloNet.
Yep, in the actual terminal.
Yep, and download overview of the city, a map, so to speak. Punch in the coordinates to the ad we're going to answer and find a taxi.
Okay.
Space Uber.
There's like a bus shuttle you can go in there and intergalactic space credits. You know?
Sweet. Yep.
So you guys get online, you know, and there's a whole bunch of people, mostly aquatic races, waiting in line to buy these tickets, right?
And while I'm online at the terminal, I will do my data dump to Switch. Okay. Because it's I can do it anonymously from this location.
So what information have you got that you think Switch would be interested in?
The Admiral Varth business, the location of the base on Felucia, the research, any of the information that I gathered.
Okay. So your benefactor Bail Organa is like, this is all top secret Bail Organa Senator stuff, and his Alderaanian main frigate, the Resurgence, full of Alderaanian security corps, are hanging in space. And again, they say, like, don't tell anybody. And your first move is like, well...
I'm not telling anybody about the Resurgence. I'm just talking about the location of the base on Felucia.
Yeah, but you mentioned Varth. He is the secret.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't care.
Okay. Just say, you realize you're kind of like,
It's money, man.
No, just so you know, I had 0 fucks given this morning.
Yeah.
And this afternoon, I still have 0 fucks.
I'm just saying, if this comes up again in the future, positive or negative, this is the point of, you may have leaked something that you weren't supposed to. Not everything. I mean, like, do you really like to start typing in a keyboard, Imperial Admiral, Turncoat, Sarlacc Project?
I do an encrypted data dump.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying, though, is you do drop the man's real name.
Yep.
To a droid crime boss information broker.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. So, yeah.
Can I not be associated with this? Like,
no,
can I be?
Somebody remind me that when you guys get back to the surface, like a 24 to 72 hours later, when you guys get back to the surface, there'll be a message waiting. Someone please remind me. There'll be a message waiting for Rahal, and the first thing would be like, interesting, where is he? So I'm like, I have a client.
Yeah. Here's some credits.
He's a senator from Naboo. He's very interested. His name starts with a P. Very interested in the whereabouts of said whose custody he's in.
It's an encrypted data dump.
No, okay.
And I'm not like sitting there on like Star Wars Facebook,
Wikipedia,
hanging out with my buds. Tag Admiral Gilder Varth. No.
Actually, there's got to be
his Wikipedia page.
Have you ever seen the end of a movie where they have that one person taking selfies and they're tight in the corner of the frame and it's more about the scene beyond them, and they're not allowed to be in the scene, so they're always 30 feet away, but kind of going, "Hey, look at me, I'm here," and there's stuff going on, and the stuff that's going on, they don't know that they're being photographed. You ever see those pictures close up of the, photographer selfie, and then there's that back shot of what they're doing, right? So at the end of season 1, who took all the selfies? The rest of you are like completely unaware that this is going on Spacebook, Who's the selfie collector?
Facebook.
Everywhere you guys have been, one of you. I could just see that. I don't know which one.
Tagged it.
Merrick, Merrick.
It would for sure be the doctor. I'm not
You
kidding.
think so?
It'd be the doctor because
He's the one who's actually like, this is my job, guys.
Poser isn't vain like that.
Oh wow,
doctor?
They're
What do you
still a
mean?
Jedi.
they're outing you, Doc. What do you think feel about this, Jay?
As far as I'm aware, the only character that I have control over that is actively recording things is Arthur, and we haven't taken him many places.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Sure.
Yeah, Arthur's got a cam on you, so you just see the shoulder shot of the doctor's
That
visor.
said, as far as I know, I control where that film goes. So
There's a tight shot, so you have the profile picture of like the camera's on the ear, and you actually can see a nice shot of the doctor's hair and eye and what he's looking out upon. Arthur is the Facebook mogul. There we go. Oh, he's taking pictures. He's hot-wired your equipment. Oh, he's taking pictures with your stuff of whatever you were doing. Awesome. Goes up on Droid Book. So you guys are not really in those circles. Okay. So, Rahal's buying tickets. I'm assuming Merrick is, on his sixth. Does anybody... you guys do notice, the lot of you, that there are also guys walking around in, like, full helmeted, like, underwater gear. It looks like a spacesuit, but it's designed to, like, go underwater. People are, like, coming into the station dripping wet. And the whole place, even though it's a public station, is tiled like a bathroom with, like, water trenches and things, and the regular aquatic people don't care. They're wet half the time, so it just drains off of them. And, there's people coming in and soaking wet, like, scuba. It's not scuba gear. Star Wars underwater is more like a bob suit or a billy suit. It's the, spacewalk, white hand gloves, and the big bubble helm, that kind of thing that you see in the Clone Wars cartoon. Anyway, people are going to a locker room and changing out of them and changing into them, and and sure enough, there are more humanoid air breathers that are wearing these things. And then there's your local Holo News,
Sweet.
going across.
Well, I know what I'm doing. What are you doing? Poser?
Local bench,
Immediately, as soon as Rahal goes over to the computer to start doing stuff, drop the case, open it up, pull out the guitar, spin it around, and just start playing.
a panhandling. Okay.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
good.
it's totally panhandling.
People take interest. Kids come over, that type of thing. Shady foreshadowing of possibly power-induced characters take notice of you and mark you and possibly contact you later and all that. And then security shows up and say, "You can't play that here."
Fine, and I'll pack it up.
Okay.
Don't you mean mine shard? No.
I don't know what you're talking about.
A little edgy. That's in the future, or is it in the past? All right. So, let's say you get your like 5 to 10 minutes of panhandling, get a couple creds. A lot of people just kind of watch, and some people are into it.
Can I roll for creds?
Sure.
Okay.
3d6. And this is the 5-10 minutes that it takes Rahal to bump the line and get up there and get us some tickets.
All right. 2, 3, and a 4.
Okay. So add it all together.
Sweet. 9 credits.
Yep.
That is like a 50% increase of what I have.
There you go. Watch out, Rahal, and your noble talents. Here it comes.
Busking champion of the galaxy.
There you go. So while these guys are in their set tasks, Zin, Doctor, Merrick, anything catch your eye? Anything specific you're looking for?
Explosives, big guns, in that order.
Okay.
In that order.
There's constant propaganda videos, and you're kind of hoping that they'll cover up or mention Felucia, probably put an Imperial spin on it, but it would still be like proof that you were there, even though what's coming up might be lies. And we always turn on, Channel 6 to keep Merrick busy like a kid in front of a cartoon, just so he behaves himself.
April O'Neil.
Yeah. I'm April O'Neil, and this is the Galactic Weather Channel. Really? Well, there's, solar flares in this system, and blah, 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 goes on and on.
Get to the explosive. Get to the explosive. Get to the explosive.
Get to the good part, yeah. Zin.
Not really looking for anything in particular. My gear set's pretty good. If I see like a silencer for a sniper rifle, I'm definitely going to try to pick that up.
Okay. Would any of your characters consider themselves claustrophobic?
I am claustrophobia.
Is there anyone here that happens to be hydrophobic?
I am hydrophobic.
I do not think that means what you think it means.
I am do not what it thinks it means.
It officially sucks to be you here.
That's right. Anyway,
Hydrophobic.
hydrophobic, right? Just they've been quiet this entire time. They're just holding the one arm and just tapping with the fingers, and stay in the ship, stay in the middle of the station, stay in the middle of the station. There's massive amounts of water. No, don't get on the sub. Don't get on the sub.
I'm cool in space, but you put me in a boat.
Deep underwater, under that pressure, with big fish going by.
Space is scarier.
Okay, that's
My body's only 70% water, so I don't completely hate myself.
Now, if that is an oberous way of thinking, there you go. Okay, just checking. Doc.
Yes. What kind of stores are there around here? Or is it
There's vending machines, there's a lot of interesting family units, and you know what the best thing about a proverbial intergalactic bus station is? The affairs. Couples that meet, trysts, that type of thing.
Get to watch some fish dudes
The
make out.
Quarians getting some calamari on the side, and, it's obvious.
That is certainly a valid point.
Yep.
I will quickly find Rahul and ask him to point out, I'm just assuming that he's getting a map of some sort.
He's in line to buy tickets on a sub so we can go city side down below.
Oh, okay.
I just had you guys all kind of riding the line with him until you find something that gets your interest. Poser wanted off, started
and I
panhandling.
won't take as much time in line as everybody else
Okay.
because of my smooth, suave ways. What's that over there?
Okay. Then I guess I would go find a map.
Okay. There's
I have a map.
There's
on
a
datapad.
great big white wall board with a big blue circle on it and a little red pinhead on the outer edge extremity that says "You are here." And then there's a line going straight down to the planet core. At the bottom of the sort of a ring within a ring, a little city going, this city here and city here. No, there actually is a map of the planet showing sort of submerged cities in an actual ring formation to give people an idea of how many kilometers down, how long it gets there, flights and stuff to another landing pad, that type of thing.
Okay, but no individual maps of the city we're going to specifically.
Oh, like the gas station map. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Vending machine. Or like I said, you can pay and then insert your data pad and it'll download it to you.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You go to like one of those user-friendly, like buy your ticket at the theater kind of thing. There's all kinds of options. And the default screensaver is the "You are here on the planet" map. You go there and you plug in, pay some credits, and then you can get things like tickets as well, certain things, put in a sort of like a carpooling thing for shuttle flights. People have come in and they've plugged in and like, okay, this is my ship and I'm paying gas and this and this and this, and I will be here for 6 hours. You want to ride? I'm going to this system, and people will, that kind of thing.
Oh, well, I would assume that Rahul is currently working on those kinds of things.
Yep.
I am just looking for the locations of a few of the tech shops in the going to.
Yep, they're all beside the Love Motels. You're going to double down on research and tech.
Oh, well, sometimes.
No. Oh, hey, it's better if we leave them alone. Like I mentioned, the couples having affairs. Imagine Dr. Leth just walking up and standing politely 10 feet away and watching two Quarians make out and just taking notes.
Taking notes.
In the middle of a freaking bus station. Like,
no. I wouldn't be looking for them. I would be looking for the couples that are interspecies.
It would be like, hey, okay, guitar boy, move along. We have a bigger problem over here. Okay. Well, besides Specimen A, Mon Calamari making out with Specimen B, Quarian, and, very Romeo and Juliet, Romeo and Quarianette, Capulet. Anyway, there's a little of that going on under your trained eye. But you do score a map. Zin's, just waiting. And Poser has to pack up. Rahal gets the tickets. Merrick's mad that, besides a little bit of news about spaceball and football and this type of thing, they really haven't mentioned Felucia at all.
I try so hard.
He's up there, like, changing the channels, reaching up to the button because there's no remote behind the, the glass, switching the HoloNet around.
At the end of the day, I'm going to steal a component from this if it doesn't blow up.
Oh, well, security would probably come over and ask you not to mess with that.
Have fun.
Stop having with the... Well, they politely ask.
Have fun.
Sir, we have to please step away from the monitor. We can't have you messing with that.
Can I please see your radio?
What? No. Are you lost, sir? Do you need to make a call?
Yes.
Okay. They direct you to like one of the little station things that Leth is currently at, where you can pay credits to make a call.
Bitch.
Get in line behind the pervert over there. Okay, so
Les just standing at a public terminal watching porn.
Les hasn't done anything. Poor Jay hasn't done one damn thing this game. First I asked about Selvies and you guys nominated him. Then you nominated this droid. Then everyone, I paint a fun picture and everyone's running with it. The poor guy has just been like, just want to go underwater, do my research. All right.
You know what? It's fine. You guys, it is probably that he would be doing that kind of thing, but he's very subtle about it. So if you've noticed, I want to see those rolls, please.
So you'll watch porn, but you won't get caught paying for it at a terminal. Is what you're trying to say?
No.
Yeah,
Not watching the
not in
couples
public
in the
anyway.
actual area.
Oh, fish porn. No, I don't know.
And
It's
he's
a
into
fetish
the real
thing.
freaky stuff, that
The
interracial.
Interracial fetish stuff. Okay.
Instead with tentacles,
Oh,
too.
so much for season 2 being somewhat family oriented. All right.
Oh.
All right.
Anyway,
No, we went
You
the
got-
other way. You
If
want
they
to
made
be
it this far, they're
Okay,
too old
you
for
know
this.
what? There's those ding ding trolley. Oh, look, there's our steamboat about to submerge. You better get those tickets spread out and like run for it, dude. Platform C4 is it's departing in like 2 minutes. You get on there. Final call boarding.
I think we found the secret to make things.
So I'll rip out, hand off tickets to everybody, and then with my data pad, I'll show them the location of the shipyard. And I'll be like, if you have no interest in this, you don't have to come. But I need, Merrick, I'm expecting you to be there. I need your expertise, and anybody else who wants to, aid in the investment.
Yeah, you guys can talk about this on the sub, which is leaving.
All right.
He starts discussing. Everyone remember where we parked.
Come on, hand it the
Everyone
ticket.
remember where we parked.
Go.
Okay.
Yep.
So you guys run outside, get aboard the submersible, and start going underwater.
Blurg Splue.
Sorry,
Platform Blurg Splue.
C4.
C4.
Yeah.
That's so not awesome. Like,
Think about
This is
it.
the best
but
platform
yeah,
ever.
but Merrick loves it.
It's C4, and it goes past D2, and,
Did you
and
know
then
that-
it submerges
or-
right in front of B1. But good luck, it's not a battleship. No one's getting this. No one's feeling this.
Oh, I was going to say bingo, but
It's not my battleship.
Rao, did you know that C4 was the old form of explosives? It was like plasticine that would take electrical charge and then blow up. It was beautiful in time, rudimentary and nothing near as powerful as I can make now. But it is where we started back in the days of explosive technologies.
Yeah, fascinating. Very fascinating.
You guys are all plastered like your noses to the window watching the massive darkness and aquatic life that has to get really close before you even see it. And there is just crazy things that you could possibly imagine swimming by, and some things rather big. The big eyeball, just kind of like looking in and then just swimming away as you guys just submerge and submerge and submerge. You guys submerge for like several minutes. And when you pass a school of fish or something that's kind of going laterally and you guys are going horizontally down, you realize that this thing is like diving pretty quickly. And it's set up for a deep dive where it can, instead of going nose down and you guys have to rely on like gravity repulsor or whatever, it spins out and the center fuselage with the passengers in it stays vertical, and the fins and everything turn, like the engine and everything flips over like a big corkscrew, and then it
That's
literally
cool.
drills itself straight down into the water like a giant corkscrew fan blade, and you guys just kind of get that feeling of an uprush.
The elevator feeling.
Yeah. But they, like I said, they dampen it with repulsor lifts and stuff so that you guys aren't feeling like you're floating or all have to hang onto rings and stuff. Though a lot of people, besides the actual aquatic races, there are people that are just like holding a rail, looking at the window.
Unsettled by it? Yeah,
No,
not
it's
at all.
just kind of something new. Yeah.
I'll strike my disco pose.
There you go.
Spark up a death stick.
Yep.
That's it, guys. We're going down.
Poser, are you still open to the Force at this point?
I don't think it'd be possible for me not to be with so many like large
All right.
aquatic creatures and whatnot.
Something
be
something
overwhelmed.
close by pings, but tries to mask his ping.
Okay.
Can I have an opposed Force check, please?
Yeah, sure.
21.
21?
Yep.
Okay.
21.
You sense a Force user aboard the vessel. They're reaching out with the Force, to, inspect the aquatic life, but it's more like a sonar ping, but they're so close to you. They were kind of like, and I reach out and ping, and oh crap, Force user, quickly cloak, but they didn't quite,
So they went to cloak as well? Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
They tried to hide their signature, as it were, and you just blew them out of the water. Now, you can hide yourself with that roll, but you became aware of them.
Okay.
So as far as you know, they're not aware of you.
Okay. Can I use my actual perception to see if I can see anyone that's acting awkward? Or like,
well, there's a whole bunch of humanoids gripping rail, If someone is not aware of you, they wouldn't exactly be looking in your direction. So it could be any creature looking in any direction. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, you do notice regular perception. Go ahead.
12.
You do notice there's something familiar about a humanoid that's he's around people, but it's like the one guy taking notes at the aquarium, and like families and groups of kids come up and look at the window, and then they walk away, and he doesn't move with the other group, so he kind of realizes he's alone.
Yeah.
He's clutching a rail, just kind of silently gazing out a window, perhaps concentrating on the force, you're not sure. But other people are listening and moving around and, or just talking amongst each other in little clusters hanging on to said rail. And
he's alone. Okay.
He's the only one that's alone. Just about everybody else is at least in a pair, if not, you know what I mean?
Okay, so most likely candidate. Got it. What's he wearing?
He's actually wearing the, what do you call it? The suit? The underwater suit?
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Okay.
Got the helmet on. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's really strange that he'd have the helmet on.
Well,
okay.
This guy probably wants to go to the city, but immediately maybe wants to get out and go, like into the water, or might want to go into the city and go to some of the actually aquatic areas in the city or under the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But instead of just sort of like jumping in the water and jetpacking down, taking your chances with the fish life, he's doubled up. He's got his, life jacket on in the boat. Like inside
just really
inside the
doesn't
ferry.
trust the technology. This thing's gonna leak. I know it.
Something like that. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, just kind of there gazing out. Poser, are you just gonna keep an eye on this guy?
Mind shard. No.
You can always just go talk to people.
Force user singles. Hey, how's it going? Meet on Aquarius. There's love motels down there next to the tech shops.
Yeah.
You my
Funnily
type?
enough, yes. I will go up, at least walk up next to him, and be like, "It's a interesting sight.
Okay.
These are larger than things I've ever seen."
A bright light coming up from the ocean floor gets his attention while you're talking to him, and he looks down over the rail into the sort of a downward angle, and you both see the giant domed city that I'm showing you here now. It literally looks like a 1960s colony on Mars. It has the outer ring with all kind of docking arms and things sort of clamped out, like it had embedded itself in the surface, and the giant single Orbis dome with a city plainly inside of it, and giving its perspective of how big the city is and how far it is away. Like a skyscraper looks the size of you could crush your head. That's how far it is. It's rapidly approaching. We are getting close. You do have a couple minutes to talk to this guy, but just so you know.
Okay.
We are getting very, 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 very close to the city of Aquarius. They sing the national anthem 24/7. Matt?
Mute.
Never mind.
This is the anthem for the city Aquarius. City Aquarius.
I hate this song.
They're piping at live feed in here. Like the guy that you're next to is just kind of slowly tapping his foot. He's into it. It just kind of.
Oh yeah.
It turns into a Little Mermaid
that
moment,
is me,
and the
totally.
fish are swimming by, singing different choruses.
Oh yeah, really? Eh?
It's all choreographed.
Yeah, they used to sing Under the Sea, but that's copyright.
Damn it, you beat me to the joke.
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna say there was a crab on top singing it, but damn.
No,
Comes in and regards you. Hey, come on in.
I
Excuse
think
me, I
we
gotta
can
go.
horn in on Disney here. Under the sea. Under the sea.
You can see the guy's face. It's weathered. He's human, or if not humanoid. He's got the old 60s space guys that have this sort of cowl where you can just basically see the front of their face.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it's like eyebrows to chin. And you can see it's a plain face. But if someone took this off and let their hair down or something, you may pass them on the street. You know what I mean? Because it makes them look bald. It makes them look, and it's like a weird color, like a bright orange. And it has the bulbous pushed out on the ears. So they've got a headset mic. So that when they talk, it actually can either go on a radio channel or be broadcast outside the helmet, distorting their voice, like, "How are you doing?" Yeah, kind of thing.
Okay.
Anyway, you were saying?
Fascinating wildlife. Much larger than I've seen back on Sarian.
The man doesn't turn his head to look at you, to look you in the eyes and talk to you or recognize you or anything.
I'm not looking. I'm not looking at him either. I'm like face. Like I'm watching.
I gotcha. If anything, his profile turns away a little bit, perhaps to regard something swimming away. But the microphone does cut in, and he agrees with you. Just keeping the conversation short. Yeah, fascinating. Just a couple of quick clips.
Random traveler chatter.
Yeah, keeps it
right. He's not going to be an ass to you.
Doesn't turn his body language to like, oh yes, blah blah blah. What are you doing here, stranger? Anything like that. He just polite enough to speak to you and agree, but keeps it short.
Okay. Well, I'll stay silent from then on.
Okay.
But stay next to him.
Sneak a peek at his face, and he does have there's some wrinkles and a bit of a weathered skin or whatever. He's either humanoid or possibly a near human, like very 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 tan or something. It's kind of hard to tell. The weird blue or greenish light that lights in the inside of the helmet is distorting his actual skin tone.
Huh.
So, I mean, if you saw him again, you probably remember him, but you would have to kind of make a little bit of a perception check if you saw him on the street, unless you just want to wait till he gets undressed and walks around the street or whatever. But
yeah.
Anyway, he's polite, he's curt, he seems focused on the ocean floor, like he's distracted or trying to do something, and just kind of chilling, waiting for the shuttle to arrive.
Cool.
Anybody else want to molest some passengers before we land?
I think I'm good.
I think the old man said, yeah.
But the one time you don't want to pull out your lucky grenade.
Pressurized cabin. Hey everybody, I bet I would get a big reaction here. In the future, if I pull this out in front of a warehouse during a gang fight, I bet they'll ignore me. But here, in the present, I bet you by episode 4, everyone's going to get tired of this and just ignore me. But back here in episode whatever, I'm sure that...
Who wants to buy lottery tickets?
I'm having a raffle. You could win this grenade.
He loses the pin here. That's why he's been holding it out the whole time.
Guys, I've been looking for the... Have you seen the pin?
I'm looking to buy a pin. Will it fit
The
this
ultimate
grenade?
icebreaker. No one panic. I just lost. And they're like, your contacts, old man? No, the pin to this grenade. It's okay, I've got it. But everybody hits the floor for several reasons. Not only looking for your pin.
Camera pans out to the outside of the shuttle as it's going down, and all the escape pods
Simultaneously jettison, and you see it rocking inside from the people all going to one side of the shuttle.
pan back inside, and it's just us standing there. What happened?
You see a small figure lit up, doing that sort of arms wide, like what? Thing rocks sideways, altering trajectory. Every available one just ejects simultaneously.
As the pod empties out. Oh, found it.
As security takes it into custody.
Yeah, no, you don't want to lose your lucky grenade.
No, it's fine. I'm sure you guys will get them back when you get to the city.
That's why
Strip
he's
them of all his
hasn't gone off
guns.
yet.
You wouldn't lose a grenade. It's the pin that he clearly lost. Let's help him find it.
You think you're smoozy, and every time you guys watch Sin, he seems kind of socially awkward, but when you leave him alone with anybody that has an interest in a gun, like police forces or military or whatever, so they haul him off, right? But you guys get down there, and you think you're going to have to go through a whole bunch of red tape to get him back. He's walking out, and the cops are laughing, and he's jibing with them and all this stuff, and, found some kind of common ground, and they're waving goodbye, and escort him out because they want to kind of talk to him for one last moment, and he just kind of trots up to you guys. Who knew he had social skills, right?
What's the level of Imperial presence in the area here? I'm assuming low to none, right?
It's minimal at the moment. Now, we did see, you guys didn't ask, but there was, this contingent, the Imperial shuttle with troopers up top. and a couple circling 2 by 2, but it wasn't like they were policing it. They were just there looking around, that kind of thing.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, ride the shuttle to the destination.
It's more like they're spying on, we're here, we're keeping an eye on you, but they're not like going to start enforcing every little,
Keeping their presence known.
Yep. Just getting into it.
Sweet.
But when they do show up, they just show up and just take over.
They're annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I totally want to do the same thing, so I can relate.
Looking at the star map, right? I mean, Alderaan is very close to the core worlds, and if Coruscant is the hub of everything, another 2 or 3 times that distance out the lane is Aquarius. Now, Felucia, another 2 or 3 times even out the space line, they had a presence there, but they had a reason. They actually had an outpost. But still, their idea was use the planet of jungle to like keep a low profile, so they didn't have a lot of troops there or anything. Here in Aquarius, you do see stormtroopers, and they have their own shuttles and everything, but it doesn't look like they're really doing anything seriously. Just checkpoints. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You'll see them actually with the current police force.
Just making their presence be known.
Yep. A military force watching the police force do its job to their standards. Does that make more sense?
Sure.
We don't have the manpower to like police you, but we're gonna. There's 48 troopers at every cop shop, and they're going around with their own little tank and stuff with cop cars, and they're just kind of watching the police force police the people and make suggestions at gunpoint and things like that. So, welcome to the city of Aquarius. Your submersible corkscrew, after the insane, crazy suicide guy was taken away, lands. You guys go through departure of a bus. The pressure in the city is not as bad as the pressure that's in the sub because they have a huge dome and they can, a lot of filters and that type of thing. It's a little bit more breathable in the city and a little bit more, as much like the surface as they can make it. But there is a distinct pressure in your ears. There is a distinct smell in the air of that constant refiltered carbon, scrubbers running, that kind of thing. And it is a city. And it's not open air city like our cities on Earth. It is domed in. So there's either strict regulations on smog and stuff, or, it's just, you got to bear a very heavy, heaty kind of smelling city.
Reminds me of the engineering campus.
So through the ring, out into the little sort of bus station depot.
Yep, hail a cab.
Right. Dr. Leth has his little map of the city with tech shops. You were pointing out again where some of you want to go to, like the used salesman type of thing, cars, and we're forgot about Zin for a minute, and then here he comes being released by the police, and they're laughing. And
Who knew they like grenades too? Funny story.
They're rather intrigued with the,
They had a spare pin.
Yeah. I don't even know how it happened.
They found it.
Yeah. He just slips. He just takes the pin from the grenade, doesn't put it in, just use it to slip his cuffs, and they hand it out to them dangling. They're like, "Oh, you."
We're walking away from the police station. Yeah, it's great, guys. They found the pin. Or wait, hey, this isn't my grenade.
Funny.
Let's go.
Funny story. Walk quick.
Outside the dome, there's a submersible just implodes. Big bubbles, and they all look up at it.
Yeah.
Before they put it together, that was my grenade. Let's move.
Yeah.
All right.
Good news, bad news. Let's just say good news.
Who all's coming to the shipyard?
I will.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
Doctor.
That you'd need my assistance. However, I do need to make a few stops first. At least one.
Yeah, no problem. I'm not going to buy the first ship I see, so we'll take some time.
Don't buy the first one. You got to look around.
Yeah. Everybody knows. And yeah, take a look at there is one in particular that I'm coming to see because there was the salvaged YT. Was it 2400?
Yeah. So you're going to wander around. You know exactly what you're after, but you're not going to walk to that.
That's right. You're
going to play the game. You're like, I'm going to walk around and look about 10 to 12 other ships before I even get to the one that I know
it's time to practice the rules of acquisition.
All right. So let me get this straight. Rahal and Merrick are getting public transport or private Uber, underwater Uber, and going to a ship salesman.
No,
Right.
we're getting Uber XL.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Uber XL. Quickly getting there. The doc is on a personal tour of tech shops, also via transport, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Are you taking anyone, or are you just care to slip away on your own?
Is there not any of the stores nearby the location that we're going for the shipyard?
Possibly.
Well, that might save some time.
But the tech they're interested in is like, ship tech. I thought you were interested in
fine.
more like chemical and science tech.
Yes.
Did you bring Arthur with you on this trip?
Of course not.
Okay. So is he on the Resurgence, or did you leave him? He's on the Banshee. I remember
He's
now.
on the Banshee, yes.
Yeah, he's on the Banshee, making sure that O'Keefe comes back for you. Right. Stay here, lie low. Hijack the ship if she doesn't come back when I call you. Okay.
Beep bop. You got it, Master. I'll keep working on these chemicals that you asked for.
So, sure, nothing will go wrong. You just leave Arthur unattended in your lab. Should be fine. So Doc goes off there.
It's been fine so far.
Yes. Before I get to Poser, I'd like to ask Zin, who do you want to go with, or you've got your own agenda today?
Well, I was going to go with the ship purchaser, but if I see the doctor wandering off by himself, I'll definitely go with him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
no-
mumble something about tech, I mean, there's always refitting in scopes and upgrading some of your gear.
Nobody
for the
likes
field,
Rahal.
right? So, yeah.
Nobody in the party actually likes Rahal.
No, I think more of like player the Frank is afraid that I'm separating the party threefold and going to have some fun.
Yep. That's exactly it.
And they
This is
all,
GPK right here, guys.
That's right. There he is. Everybody split. Or maybe he's got his own agenda.
We got comms.
Yeah, you do. Isn't that great? Oh, wow. You guys left me
future.
alone. They're approaching me from every side. Where did he say he was going? I don't
Read
know.
my history.
Where did he say he was going? I don't know.
My history.
That's the bro code.
All right. So, no, that's good. Everyone's got a buddy except for Poser. He has the Force. So, Zen
the
just kind of, uninvited tags along with the doc. Just gets into the cab with him. What's he going to do? Say no?
Clunk. Clunk. Excuse me. You're excused. What'd you do, Toot? That's
What? I'm going this way too. I figured you'd spot me the cab fare.
Yeah. So, what are we buying today with your money?
I sit and cracks open like a beer. It's like, hey, you want a roadie? I got a couple spares.
Your favorite traveling companion, the guy with the considering lab coat versus the 10-year-old never been washed bloodstained camo coat side by side,
I don't wear this thing because it's comfortable, because it's got pockets.
wear it just to piss everybody off.
Oh,
That's good. That's good.
So many pockets.
Okay.
what does that smell? That's decayed blood.
He's got all the e-webbing.
I know what that
how
smells
the
like.
military have all those little tight pockets on the e-web vest that like have ammo and stuff. He's got like 20-year-old granola bar stuffed in one and like grenade pins, like a store of them, a whole bunch of them.
Got to keep a spare.
Well, it was every pin tells a story of the grenade that it lost.
That's right.
In every battle, right? So you've got
There's-
all these little grenade pins.
There's been multiple lucky grenades over the years.
Yeah.
Lucky is the grenade that's in the hand. It's
Exactly.
Yes.
Lucky I have this.
Okay. So, 2 Ubers pull up. Poser, you fall in line with the shipbuilder? You fall in line with the tech guys? Or are you going to keep tabs on this guy that, quickly departs and...
Oh, I don't know. It's, do I help us get a ship for cheaper? Do I go for useless stuff and make sure the party is safe? Or do I go for the obvious plot hook? Ooh, choices,
Well, it's plot hook now or plot hook later or maybe bypass plot hook. I'm not going to keep you on the rails, buddy.
Ah, true.
You felt a ping. This is only 3 months after Order 66. We
It's
went
your
from...
galaxy, bro. Do what you want.
That's right.
It's not my galaxy, it's the Emperor's. I'm just trying to
What
survive.
would your character do?
For now.
Follow the Force dude from a distance.
Okay.
I mean, as discreetly as I can be, giant cone head, black hair, black, everything, piercings. I don't really blend.
Introduced yourself on the frickin' submersible.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, that's kind of a perception penalty right there, you know. I'm being followed. I'm being followed by a guy with a big head that I think I recognize from back there. No, wait a minute. No, I saw that submersible implode. No one survived that. Good thing I had my
walking
swimsuit.
down the street to see a Mon Calamari, and then it's like one shark.
Oh, that's his
Top of his
head.
head. It's weaving his way.
The Syrian. In case you're just tuning in, you know, Aiden Williams is playing a Syrian, and these guys have the sort of cone head, you know, head and shoulders above all men. And you're a pretty tall, lanky guy to start, aren't you?
yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, Rahal, we just we never get lost or remember where we park. We just Poser uses the Force to find our car, and then everyone just follows the head. Big shiny beacon. We'll never
That
get
or
lost.
Ryan.
There you go.
I think Ryan and I are about the same
Oh yeah,
size.
Ryan is like Wookiee size, right? He's freaking huge. You actually see his head and shoulders, you know. He walks by and he's talking down at this cone that's kind of agreeing with him and bobbing as they walk along. All right. He actually looks like the guy in the surface swimming away from the shark. In the scene of that. 'Cause all you see is his head and
I
shoulders.
have an
right?
opinion.
I don't want your religion. Keep it to yourself.
So, who shall we start with? Dr. Leth. Tech.
Indeed.
Directions. Progress. Penalties. Who knows? Anything specific you are looking for at this time?
Yes, I'm looking for an Exaltec, slicing computer.
Oh, and how much do those go for?
7,500 credits.
And how much do those go for water damaged and used and no guarantee they're going to start up twice?
Presumably much less.
Presumably. Do you know how fast these watery hand people go through tech? Do you have any idea? Imagine you spilling your coffee on your keyboard every day. I mean, these people the water just comes right off of them. Underwater computers. All right. Well, good luck finding a keyboard that isn't in Quarian. You know what I'm saying? It's like getting the Chinese keyboard. Oh, what a great deal, but I can't understand the keys.
Oh, well, I mean, you just have to, as long as I have the main system, I can convert the language settings.
Yeah, and you can always plug in. Okay. So, do you have this kind of cash on you?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I'm just curious, what is our party cash going on, or your personal cash? Because I know you guys all got like $2,000 from Bale, Organa, and some of that was taken out in like explosives and whatnot, or supplies. But
I believe Rahul and I have at least about 20,000 credits apiece.
Oh, have you moved to the next level? Do you have a joint account? That's very sweet.
Yes.
Apiece. Mine is research funds. I don't actually know where he gets his.
Oh, okay. Sorry, how much was that a piece?
Around 20,000.
20. How did we go from 2,000 to 20,000?
That would be the talent wealth.
Oh, he leveled and he's sharing the wealth, and you have that talent as well.
I do.
Okay. So the Homeworld grant came in. They like your notes. They were very pleased. Did you actually, now talking about encrypted data files, have you been sitting on this stuff that you got off the doctor?
Yes, that particular piece of information I haven't clarified and checked the calculations myself first, so I haven't sent that anywhere, no.
Okay. And you've made no whiff of that you're onto something in the scientific community? You've just been going on about your,
Well, no, the closest anyone knows to anything about that is not directly connected to me. It's connected to the fact that terrible experimentation was conducted on the Felucian people.
Okay. So, because you've been afield, you haven't been stationary enough to, watch the lions mating and that kind of thing. Your subject A, B, C, D, E is, I'm assuming, is the party.
Indeed.
And O'Keefe included, who, keeps becoming interested in the, you got to keep your work at arm's length, right? Subject A keeps hitting on Subject C, and Subject C doesn't want much to do with Subject A, but Subject B loyally stays next to Subject A's side, and although twice Subject A's side, they seem to have a common bond, and Subject D and F are always wandering about aimlessly, and barely have social skills to incite romantic activity inside the pack or outside the pack, and all this stuff. But they seem they're buying it. They get you another grant.
You do have more to tell.
Okay. Well, they bought it because you leveled, you got your money. They want to know more. Perhaps a different environment will push things along. And here you are in a very, very, very different environment.
Indeed.
Quite wet.
It's implied. So, you and Old Man Zin roll up on the first check Kmart Radio Shack store that's on your list, and it's run by a Quarian. You go inside.
I'm sorry, just a quick question.
Yep.
Are they actually called Quarians? Because I believe that's the Mass Effect race.
Quarren. Sorry, Quarren. There's Mon Calamari, and then there's Quarren. There's a squid guy, and then there's the guys with the tentacles off the back of their head. There's a couple.
Quarren.
Quarren, yeah, sorry, not Quarian, Quarren. The Quarren have the wide chipmunk triangle cheeks and the tentacles at the front of their face, and the Mon Calamari have like the sort of dreads off the back of their head that are actually like tentacles. The big eyes, right?
Admiral Akbar is the most famous one.
Oh, that's like the straight up fish guy. What's the Jedi that actually has the big eyes and the dreads?
Plo Koon.
No,
he's a Quarren.
No, Plo Koon is a Keldor. You're thinking
yeah, and they breathe gas.
Yeah, Keldors breathe gas.
I spent so much time on like the city, the
guys.
planet, the shops. It's like, yeah, who actually lives here? Kind of sliding there in my duties. Forgiveness. Right. So anyway, a Quarren is running this particular shop.
Excellent. Well, then I would begin searching. See
Okay.
if I can find the material I'm looking for. Also, I would question, Zin, what exactly are you doing here?
Well, the other guys didn't need my help buying a ship. I don't have much to contribute, so I figured I'd follow you. Never know what kind of trouble you'll get into.
You always use a new scope for your rifle.
I don't know if that's an insult, but okay. Well, take a look, have a seat. I don't really care. Anyways.
In the movie version, all these scenes of the Doctor like going it alone, blowing Frankenstein's head off, like owning the combat from different camera angles that we never realized were possible in the original movie. This is all going through his head where you're like, you need to be looked after. Okay. All right. So I'm sure one day you guys will be friends.
Probably.
So, yeah, think of an outing. Get to know the crew better, I mean, you have a kind of like a direct relationship with Rawl. Everybody does, but you haven't spent much time. You spent some time with Poser, he's just kind of working his way around, getting to know.
Yeah, as he's looking for his, data pad.
Yeah.
Go just pick up something that looks obviously broken and twisted.
Well,
how about this?
You pick up something. The Quarian looks single. That would get his attention.
How about this? No? All right.
He picked up a power converter for something that's like, completely out of date, but they sell them anyway.
I mean, that might work. That might work for modifications for your weapon, but other than that.
So, what's your shopping list here? You come in, instead of a ding bell, you walk in and there's that sonar ping. Customer.
Ah, how quaint.
Milking the theme. That's my job.
Well, I would then go to look for the personal computers.
Okay. So you come in, ignore the shopkeep, just start eyeballing shelves, find something that looks like it's got keyboards and that kind of thing, wristband computers, and just head over there?
Well, I would assume that the shop is fairly organized. It's difficult to make sales.
It's not a junk store.
Hmm.
Appears to be a reputable dealer. I'm assuming that is what would appear on your list. Okay. Zin is kind of shadowing you, holding up random stuff, looking for things that interest him.
This?
Oh, Zin. Talk about liking long barrels. I mean, there's some sweet looking spear guns and stuff. Like high tech. As far as a slug thrower goes, these guys have actual, like lance launching kind of technology, railgun, spear gun kind of stuff up on a wall that all have that just sort of, sniper spear gun look because it's a long barrel. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like, ooh, look at that.
He grabs one. Wow. This thing would suck long distance, but you can do some damage with that.
It's not loaded. The spear, it's up against a picture on the wall that shows the spear, so you could see what the complete weapon looks like. There's no way we're having like loaded spear guns in a shop that's run by fish people. The temptation is just too great. So we learned several cousins lost ago that you just don't do
psychological trauma.
Yes. Actually, we have to have a special license to sell this. I don't become a gun shop and a tech store, but sure, why not? You're looking at spear guns. He's looking at the personal computers. The ship bit's going to be a bit long. Let's go back to Poser. Poser is tailing this guy. I would like to rewind time to one of Poser's dreams at night. The fidgeting memories and guilt of losing his master, the master tossing his own saber to Poser when he broke his own. That lightsaber, fast forwarding in time, obviously disassembled, possibly out of guilt, maybe just trying to hide. But it's obvious to the audience, not you guys, that he kept the crystal and pulled it out in some of his lonelier moments to, think about said master and have these terrible GM menacing flashbacks. When holding the crystal or falling asleep with it, petting it, his pet rock, and being particularly vulnerable in the Force, he was taken back into a nightmare, picturing the giant footprints of a walker stomping flat his Felucian friends and his possible new shaman friend master. No sign. Memories of fleeting voices out of the corner of his eyes, seeing bodies, but any movement type of thing, and the smoking wreckage, which was the village, quickly panning all the way back to one of those curved mountain peaks and regarding a figure upon said mountain peak, turning to him in another guilty pose, relating that the man the Poser was thinking about, that shaman, might have been his friend. Fear, a connection, cutting off the dream, waking up in a cold sweat. Poser has no idea who this is, but other people were connected to these living, breathing, Force-using people. Gotta remember, they're more than just Force-sensitive. They just all are Force-sensitive. They all have their little Goku balls, sure, but, that's a whole pack of them. Any Force user that tried to dwell on that planet would eventually, I wouldn't say succumb, but you'd be foolish not to tap into the realistic power that is there. Poser got a taste of it. Then he left in a hurry, leaving Mayhem in his wake. Not his fault, just doing his job. I asked Poser, would he leave? Would he believe that what he believed was coming in an Imperial Inquisitor, possibly, would track him and be the end of his new friends? No, we think he got away scot-clean. Or did he? We rewind time to a man who led a pretty hermitative life, avoided most of the Clone Wars. When the Jedi Call went out, not all were enlisted soldiers. A lot were enlisted to do recon, look after civilians. Not just lead troops, but, other important duties for a Force user. One such man ended up eventually, pre or post Clone War, on the planet of Felucia. Older, taking a hermit's way, his backstory a mystery, until possibly making a friend himself in that shaman Felucian, and a second chance. But still, his own dark past keeping him from completely reconnecting. Then tragedy strikes. The Imperials, that had a very low presence, manning a single outpost which he observed and then gave wet breath to, even warning the stubborn shaman to move his people up into the mountains where he dwelled. The shaman stubbornly secluded himself, hid his people as best he could, until one day, smoke on the horizon, reaching out with the Force, or just a gut feeling, he knew that tragedy had struck. And he sensed something. He sensed fear clouding over it, but more than just the people coming out, some kind of connection. And the shaman reaching out to this man, the shaman connecting him to another Force user and drawing him, that connection, directly to the planet, practically gift wrapping him with his dying breath so the man could see this young Force using messed up Padawan on him on the ridge. He dies. You know this. And turning great sorrow to whoever this young Syrian was, practically overcome with grief, and just shaking your head in sort of a solemn sadness of, you knew this type of thing could happen. This is why you don't make friends. Couldn't help yourself to pointedly turn to this kid and say, he was my friend. And then your own dreams started, your own nightmares of the Empire, of this kid, of the Force pushing on your mind, wanting back in, of the reconnection. That rat bastard old shaman had serendipitously reconnected you powerfully through the planets Gaia to the Force, and with his dying breath linked you to this little douchebag that was probably responsible for his death. And after days of trying to fight it, finally deciding to get off your ass and go find him, reaching out with the Force, going to the village, doing your own investigating, finding a trail, subtle, but thanks to the use of the Force, following it, and then disappeared, gone. How can you find this guy? And then you remember years ago in your own Padawan days, some 40 on years ago, your master telling you, you don't follow people, you lead them, or you anticipate where they're going to go. Trying to remember your own lessons of the shaman, climbing atop one of the magic mushrooms, sitting in that disgusting tree sap, and driving your hands painfully, practically breaking a few knuckles, into the bark, and sitting for as long as it takes in meditation, hours, days, feeling, searching. Draco is hunting, whoever he is, also looking, now using the planet's force to shield you from him. No, Draco doesn't care about you. He's so fixated on this kid. You can use Draco's fixation to guide you. You see scenes aboard a Victory-class Star Destroyer. People talking to Draco, people talking about space lanes, talking about ships, a ship called the Banshee, talking about what they suspect. And the Force finally showing you a vision of a watery planet, green marble in space, and an underwater city on Aquarius. You eventually, takes you a couple more days, make your way there. Reaching out with the Force to find him, to find any Force users. There are several aboard the planet, but no sign of the kid. Until, miraculously, you realize how this kid is hidden so well. Because with your best Force ping, the kid walks right up beside you, starts talking about stuff. Luckily, probably doesn't recognize you. Keep the conversation low. Get off the ship. Head into the city. Sure enough, you sense the kid following you. But he's alone. Not with the people he was with before. Answers. Though you probably already know what they are. You probably already know the fate of your friends. What are you doing out here? Why has the Force led you here? What are you searching for? Where are you leading this kid? Are you trying to save him from Draco? Are you trying to save him from yourself? All this swirling in your mind as you turn down an alley and finally make a decision to either confront him or lead him somewhere that he needs to go. Because there is something here. You can feel it under the city. A energy connected to the Force, deeply ancient. Something worth looking into. What do, Frank?
So he follows me down into the alleyway.
He's coming. You duck down an alley and have moments to decide if you're going to zip down this alley and lead him further, possibly pick up a sewer grate into the, let the Force guide you to whatever this ancient thing is under the city. Maybe that's what guided you here. Maybe the Force wants you guys both here. Or maybe you're just so a twisted turmoil of, the neighbor, the shaman friend, the only thing you've had for like the last 20 odd, 40 odd years, giving up, the Jedi Society, the Clone Wars, sitting most of it out. Some kind of closure by confronting this kid. The old shaman connected him to you once in a dream for a reason, and now he's haunted them until you realized it wasn't about the kid. It was something about bigger, something about who's hunting the kid and why the kid is important and what the kid's going here. And he's really good at masking his presence in the Force, but the big Force carrot lies under the city, and the kid is the key.
Okay.
You don't even know why you're here, but here you are.
So moving down the alleyway, do I see a grate or any kind of access to go deeper, like a sub-level?
You can feel it. You'll know it's there. You can.
Okay, so I'll make my way towards it, and if I find it, I'll try to go down in that way, and I'll leave it fairly obvious that I went that way.
Leave it open.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. So if the kid is following me, he's gonna see this is the way that I went.
Okay. Descending into the sub-levels, the tunnels, the vents, and eventually what appears to be some sort of aquatic subway running under the city in actual submersibles where these, again, people can get on board them dry and shoot around into the city in sort of like a water jet propelled thing. There's also a subculture under the city built up and flooded for, aquatic people that don't have to like completely exit the city to get their water on. It's an entire sort of pan of water. Think of like an oil pan under an engine that can splash back up into it at certain points, and people, water can be pumped into the side of the city, up into the city at different levels, that kind of thing. Because if you look at the picture, you're looking at like at least a 60 to 200 foot wall, and the city seems to sit only 50 feet into it. So I'm looking at 150 feet of constructed something under the city before you hit bedrock. And that's not even counting like tunnels or tubes or something that could literally be there. But there's something strong connected to the Force sitting under the city. You can feel it. And the only reason you can is because you learned how to tap into a living planet force. And after the shaman showed you that, something connected with this kid, he is connected with the living planet force of this planet. And once you once you saw that or realized it, it just drew you in like a great big headlight. Down, down, down into the vents you go. Poser. He disappears into an alley.
Master always told me to go with the Force, so
Okay.
put my trust in it. So
Zin's get himself a spear gun. The doc is certain that he can get a good deal on a foreign computer and then just convert it to his own use and find something that actually does suit his needs, Dr. Leth. And Poser, following a stranger, alone, tracking the Force for those segues, which finally brings us to a not Mon Calamari. Who's the squid guys? Quarren?
The current.
The Quarren, right?
Corn, yep.
A cowboy hat and long trench coat wearing Quarren, and it's called Lou's Ships. And there's a Ka and a Thu that's kind of like broken down and fallen off.
Cthulhu's secondhand starships.
Your sanity is a resource.
These prices are insane.
Obviously, everyone's seen the commercials on the HoloNet. Everybody on that ship. Zin's seen them. Merrick's watched them. You know,
we'll
they're
destroy the competition.
They're mumbling. That's right. We will possess and destroy the competition. That's right.
In that order.
That's right. Your ship secrets are safe with us.
The end of your search is nigh.
That's right. That's right. And as the puns get worse,
Oh, yeah. That's the tip of the iceberg.
you guys start rolling along this section. Now, parking a ship in here is kind of difficult. So they obviously have like a warehouse or something nearby, but there's like a little office and some shuttles and some speeders and small craft that could like zip around the city. But this is the address that posted an online ad. You do not see the ship itself, but you're pretty sure you're in the right place.
Yep. I'll walk into the establishment and look for... Actually, I won't look. I'll just walk in and be like, Lou, where you at, buddy?
A reddish-brown skinned, fish-like Mon Calamari with great big eyes, one glossed over and dead-looking, extra tentacles like a beard, like a koi fish, hanging off of his big lip jowls, spins around in what probably once was Lou's chair and says,
Lou, he's dead. It was a prop.
and we'll see you next week.
I have you now.